What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Action Amplified. Today, this one's for the men. We are talking about being a good man. Not to be confused with being a kind man, but being a good one. Let's go ahead and dive into it. Being a good businessman, or a good husband, or a good father, a good pillar in your community. It all starts with the man child that you see in the mirror with you each and every day. I'm going to give a little disclaimer before I go any further. A lot of dudes are not going to like this. A lot of guys are not going to like what I have to say. And that's okay. But understand this, I am here for you as well. I'm not only speaking to you, I'm speaking to myself. We're all in this thing together. We're all trying to get better. So don't take offense to what I'm trying to say. Either learn from it or stop listening to it. We were created. We were formed with the idea of perfection and righteousness. So that means you have to live your life worth being loved and being respected. And believe me, I'm not coming to you as a perfect man myself. I'm flawed. And I've done wrong in my life just like you have. But I work hard and take action each and every day of my life to claim the good things that I want in my life, like love, joy, and peace. If you want your wife, your girlfriend, your significant other to be happy, and you want to be a better husband and a better man to your woman, then know that everything rises and falls on your leadership. Just like with a company or a business, if I have a huge company, or let's say I have a small company, it doesn't matter how big the company is. Let's just say I have a company, right? I have a business, and the sales team isn't doing what I want them to do, and they're not performing at the numbers that I feel like they should, then that's on me. It's my fault, you see, because it's a reflection of me. They are a reflection of me. And your wife and your family are the same way. They are a reflection of you as well. If you don't like how she is, and you don't like how she looks at you, or even on the flip side of that, if you walk into a room and she's standing there and you don't get excited, you don't get happy, the sight of her doesn't put a smile on your face, then I'm telling you right now, brother, you need to change how you see yourself. It's as simple as that. Because women normally act on their act on their emotions and their feelings based off of how you are and how you act. Now, I do know that there are some exceptions to that rule, but for the most part, we are the head. We are. And everything else has to follow suit behind us. I'm going to put some things into perspective for you. Have you ever been in a traumatic experience or something drastic has happened in your life? And when the dust settled, who was there? Was it her? I can pretty much say she probably was the one there. I'll tell you something else. If she doesn't walk with you and she's ready to dip, say, I'm out, I'm done, it's probably because she doesn't see you for who she believes you truly are. And what I mean by that is you're not the man she knows you can be. You see, most times than none, a woman will fall in love with the potential of a man way before she ever falls in love with the actual man himself. And I mean, she will see the greatness in you and the greatness that you have, not only for her and the potential of greatness that you have for the world and the things that you can give to the world. But men are so quick to jump ship. We're so quick to say, peace out, I'm done, simply because she's not giving you what you think you deserve. And sometimes I'm sure that is the case. But most times it's because you aren't given what you said you would either. And believe me, I'm guilty of this myself. I have pushed my woman to the doors of hell more times than I can count. Tiptoeing around bullshit, dancing around unclean thoughts and actions that cause all kinds of problems in our relationship. And she had every right to throw up that middle finger and just hightail it out of there, leaving me in the wake of my own living hell, my own bullshit. But you see, she continues to be, and has always been, my solid ground that I stand on. She showed up, and she continues to show up. But understand something. When I was younger, I wrote down the description, the characteristics of what I wanted my perfect woman to be, my dream woman, if you will. I know this sounds corny, but it truly was like a depiction of a Disney character. It was insane. Like I remember sitting down and literally writing out everything that I wanted her to be, how I wanted her to look, how I wanted her to dress, how I wanted her to talk, and it ended up being something like she looked like Ariel, she walked like Mrs. Rabbit, and her voice sounded like the song sang by Belle. I literally created this woman years and years before I even knew her. And then guess what? Here I was, messing it all up from being a sorry, sinful, broken, ridiculous man-child. And I was getting pissed off. I was getting angry. I was the one who felt entitled, thinking, how dare she walk out on me? I've worked my whole life away for her. Everything I've done for her. And it still wasn't good enough? Yeah, I don't think so. Does she know who I am? I know a lot of you guys feel the same way. A lot of you think the same way. But trust me, that way of thinking is bullshit too. Because knowing that she was fed up with me and ready to live her life elsewhere with someone else, doing something else, having the life that I always wanted with her, that's the thing that straightened me up. Because it was then that I realized and understood that it wasn't even about me. Nothing, and I mean nothing, I did or was born to do was ever about me. It was at that moment that I decided and dedicated everything I am and everything that I do to her and for her. Now every day is our day. The time that I spend with her comes first, and everything and everybody else comes second. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about that. She comes first, no matter what. And I'll tell you this as well. God and faith come before all that. They come before her, they come before the business, they come before friends and families, outings, whatever. And that was the missing piece. That was the key to all of it. Now, I know what I just said. And I know that some of these people are going to be like, really? This dude's talking about this? But listen, you can believe in whatever you want to believe in. You can have whatever you want as your savior, your God, whatever. It doesn't matter. But I will tell you this, and this is tried and true, and there is nothing else but it. Faith without work is dead. You as a man not only need to submit to God, but submit to being a servant to your woman. That's what I'm saying. Most people are going to be like, I can't believe he just said that. But it's true, guys. We weren't made for them. You were not made for her. She was made for you. And that means that she's your helpmate, not somebody you boss around and treat like shit. We as men are the ones who needed the help. That's why God created women for us and not the other way around. But understand this, he also created them through us. And that means that we aren't any better than them. Yeah, we may be stronger than them or whatever, but we're no better than them as a person, and they're no less than us as a person. We're a team, a covenant, a bond that should not be broken. If you want to be a better man, a better husband, you need to create and keep a relationship with God. Like I said, I understand that some people are going to be like, I can't believe this dude's talking about God right now. But believe me, there is no other answer. If you want to be a successful man, you want to be a successful businessman, you want to be a successful husband, you want to be a great dad, you want people to be able to look at you and say, I want to follow that guy. I believe in what he believes in. Then believe me, it does not start with you. It starts with you believing in God and following what he says. Because believe me, dude, like you've tried it your way and it didn't work. You're literally trying it your way and it's not working. Your life is like this because you're trying to do it yourself. You can't do it yourself. So why not put a little God in it? You're messing it up. Why don't you let God clean it up? I recently saw a demonstration about relationships. It was a triangle. And at the top of the triangle was God. And then at the bottom two corners was husband and wife. And the idea behind this is if they are both doing right and living right for God, then they will always meet at the top. Because they aren't living for one another, they are living for God. And in return, they are the beneficiaries of it. Meaning, if you're doing what you're supposed to do and you're planting the seed of thankfulness and righteousness through God, then your spouse and your family will benefit from that tenfold. But also, if you're living like hell, then your family will receive debts from that as well. So remember, you are the head. Act like it. Whatever you do is going to get fed back to your family. So again, if you want a better life, then you have to be a better man and a better husband. It's not up to your wife or your spouse or your girlfriend or whatever to do a better job. She is simply a reflection of the job that you're doing. So step up and stop making excuses and start making the right choices. Like I said, God, righteousness, quality time, and true unconditional love. Not walking out just because she looked at you a certain way, or getting angry and walking out because she said something you didn't like, or because she struck a nerve. You have to remember, relationships are always a mirrored thing. The people you hang around, the relationships that you're in, the marriage that you have, the woman you fall in love with, it ends up being a mirrored relationship. It always makes you look inward. And the things that piss you off the most, the things that bother you the most, are the things that God and that relationship is trying to reveal to you so that you can be a better person, that you can overcome whatever it is that's bothering you, that's inside of you, that needs to be fixed. Because we all have something that needs to be fixed. Don't fool yourself and act like you don't. There is evil trying to destroy our families and trying to destroy the right way for a man to be and for a woman to be in a relationship and in their life together. Don't let it happen, guys. Be the voice that yells, "Not in my house." I will live right. I will do right. So God and blessings can live through me. The time is now, and the choice is yours. I'd like to thank everybody for listening and watching this podcast. You have no idea how important and precious that is to me. And also, if nobody's told you today, I love you. And you are worth every dream, aspiration, and overall ideas for life that you have for yourself. You are worth it. Remember, be your reason.